Can you even believe what happened last time on the Incorrigible party? Oh my goodness.
Finally feeling the urgency of acquiring the cage to capture Sardo, Falzarin and Shaft set out for magic, with Alamar complaining about Falzarin pulling on the cane during the journey. Mia and Shakara encounter Igna shortly after he returns to the Tickly servant as instructed. But he's placated by Shakara's insistence that dealing with acquiring the Amulet of Kalar is more important than dealing with the false elders. After reuniting and the party sharing instances of strange sightings of Erica and Isabella, Shakara and Mia interrogate Igna about his partnership with Sardo. Igna brazenly comes clean and informs Shakara of his new task to end her life on the order of Isabella, an act that proves to be reckless and costs the elf his life.
And now, on with our show.
The door to the Tickly servant opens, and at its threshold is Isabella. She looks around, peering over the crowd. Again, because most of the patrons here are on their feet after, Igna's gone down. And she just raises a finger and casts Fireball.
I feel like...
Are you going to counterspell? I'm just kidding.
I feel like...
Wait a second, move that.
This is
Shaft's
another
in that
opportunity
circle.
where it might be worth using counterspell.
Well, you do have your you do have your reaction back because you did have your turn.
That's going to be a lot of damage.
It's up to you, babe. The circle doesn't look like it's hitting us, so...
I wouldn't know that.
I know, I'm metagaming.
Yeah, I think Falzarin can appreciate the severity of Fireball being cast inside with all of these innocent people here. So he's going to try and prevent that from going off and cast Counterspell with his reaction.
What level?
I think I'm going to upcast it just because in case she upcast it and I want to, this is a spell I really don't want to happen in here. So I'll cast it at 4th level.
You see Isabella kind of smirks as you go to cast your counterspell, and she will respond with a counterspell of her own using her reaction.
Oh.
So the fireball goes off. Everybody in the area, which only includes Falzarin, Shaft, 2 tables of townspeople, and 2 tables of paladins of cultists, can all make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
That coy
How big's your aura, Shakara?
Isabella.
10?
10. Not big enough to get...
Falzarin's too far.
Yeah.
25 for Shaft.
I think my dex is 0, right? Yeah. 13 for Falzarin, which I don't believe is enough.
You know what? Bill's taking risks with Falzarin. I appreciate that. You know?
Well, I guess it's against her spellcasting ability, right? So it might be enough. You never know.
She did cast this at a level 5.
Oh, how nice.
That's bad, right?
Yeah, that's bad. Yep.
But don't you have resistance to fire things?
By
you evocation
paladins?
wizard?
Yeah, I'd like to sculpt safety for myself. Can I do that, please?
I mean, now that a fireball has gone off in the bar, I can rain thunder and lightning. Mess has been made.
She's getting this party started, is what she's doing.
So it is a DC 15.
Emily looks worried.
I'm trying to figure out if this actually is Isabella. And if it's like Salardo's disguised self, but why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he could cast a level 5
She's
fireball
never
either.
cast fireball in front of us.
And I don't think Kula's strong enough to do that, so maybe it actually is Isabella.
Unfortunately for the townsfolk, it does not matter whether or not they pass or failed. And each of the 5 paladins also unfortunately failed, as they are all dressed in heavy armor. And everyone that fails takes a total of 48 fire damage. I rolled very well. Half on a pass. Still smiling, Isabella walks away from the threshold of the Tickly, disappearing from sight.
Are you kidding me?
So for me, she's 65 feet from where I'm sitting.
Around you, as this fireball erupts, the patrons just perish immediately in the flames. 4 of the tables ignite and burst on fire themselves. Even as the fire effects of the spell itself subsides, the tables themselves light on fire. The chairs on fire. The bar that Shaft sits atop goes up in flames. The bottles of liquor from the heat explode and splash alcohol over, just feeding it. The roof, as this is a 20-foot radius sphere, the roof of the Tickley catches fire. The huge beams, wooden beams that hold up the second story, light.
Are we still on initiative?
We are.
Is it my turn?
It is.
I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace and dash to the door. Let's see, I can go 50, so I can get about 10 feet away from the door. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to give chase.
After Shaft is Falzarin. And Shaft, you, from your vantage point, is outside of the door to the Tickley into the street. Like, you can see, into the street, the buildings across from it. And you see a couple paladins, like on patrol in the streets. A few other people outside as well.
So has the door remained open, or?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody has quite reacted to exactly what's going on inside.
Okay.
So Falzarin is sort of paralyzed momentarily here, deciding, does he pursue Isabella, or does he stay to try and mitigate all the damage that's about to happen inside Tickley?
You're inside a burning building. You might want to get out.
But also upstairs is all of Falzarin's
Stuff. So
Leland would do that to you.
You
run
got a
up and get your
broom.
stuff and then jump on Denny and fly out the window.
I'm
Yeah.
sure Leland wasn't
No, I
thinking of
completely
that when he
forgot
cast
about
Fireball.
It's actually
That's
so
just
legit
a
and
bonus.
evil. I love it.
Yeah, that's just a bonus. I think Falzarin would think that A, we may still be able to catch up with Isabella, or B, there's always tomorrow. But there are a lot of valuable items upstairs that he doesn't want to see perish in this fire. So he's going to... Do I use Dimension Door for this? It's a costly use of Dimension Door, but it would get me there real fast. I think he'll just dash. He'll dash up. It's only... Is it just one story that I'm going up?
That's right. No, just to the second story is where all the rooms for the Tickley are.
Okay. I think this structure is not going to go down like within a matter of like 2 seconds after this fire's gone off. I don't think so. He thinks he's got time. He's going to dash upstairs to the room where he stashed everything, and try and gather his things quickly, and then get back down and out. So I can basically get to the bottom of the stairs.
Is it faster if you go on Denny?
Yeah, because you could fly. You could dash with Denny and fly
In the
100 feet,
building.
yeah.
Can it? Is it? There's enough room to fly in here?
Yeah, well, like the ceiling
do
is
it.
less than 20 feet, right? So you got about a 15-foot ceiling here. So, yeah, potentially.
Okay. I will attempt to get on Denny and see if Denny can zip me up to the room as quickly as I can get up there. So by my count, it looks like I'm about like 65 feet from the base of the stairs. Denny has a 50-foot fly speed, so dash would give me 100, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I would say on Denny, you would be able to make it to the second, like just to the second floor. Then you would be able to get up the stairs and pretty close to your room.
All right, so that's my turn.
Next are basically everyone else in the Tickley, all the surviving people. The few townsfolk left are clearly panicking at the fire, which is quickly spreading across the ceiling and over the rest of the bar as well. They're going to make for the exit, dashing themselves out into the street. The paladins themselves, clearly the paladins are a little less panicked, although it doesn't seem like any of them currently have the capability to really fight the fire at the size of it is, even after a few short seconds. But you hear like Sally barking orders, basically telling everyone to get out. She's got like a hand on Frank's shoulder and is kind of like pushing him and ushering him down along the bottom edge of the, I guess on the map, if it's north up, south down, on the south edge of the bar, where the fire has not yet spread though. This basically along the length of the bar is like how many is there? 6 tables just kind of lined up against this wall and with benches, which is where the majority of the surviving paladins are. So they all kind of get up and start to make again for the door as well, kind of clamoring in and around and in front of Shaft. But luckily Shaft shouldn't have a problem moving through them, right, with your being the size you are. So just imagine I moved all those tokens. Okay, top is Shakara.
So I'm in the back corner, and in between me and the doorway is all the fire. Is that a window next to me?
So actually, you have 2 doors on like the northern wall. There's 2 doors that lead to the restrooms.
And I assume I would have used these restrooms previously. Are there windows inside them?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, there's kind of this short little corridor that leads to a rear exit, which would have been the same door that Shaft had seen Frank standing behind after hours, kind of thing.
Okay, I want to run out the rear exit. I'm going to yell for Hulsa Drag Mullen with me, and I'll run out the door towards the rear exit.
Okay, excellent. And you know what? I'll have them just move with you on your initiative because I actually didn't roll them in. Too many people. There's too many freaking people in this bar.
Yeah, it's a packed house.
So Shakara and her 3 entourage here can disappear away from the flames, and then next is Mia.
Mia was born for this, okay? When she leveled up, there are certain spells that are always prepared, and she would like to cast Sleet Storm. And also, I have scrolls of Sleet Storm. I would like to just use a scroll of Sleet Storm. I'm like, haha, like a little Girl Scout that's always prepared and like pulls her scroll out, okay? So, I can cast Freezing Rain and Sleet in a 20-foot tall cylinder with 40-foot radius, centered on the point I choose. So I'm going to center it on the center of the blast, and any exposed flames in the area are doused.
Excellent.
Now it is covered with slick ice, difficult terrain, that kind of thing. You like enter the area for the first time or start your turn there, you have to make a dex save, but everyone's kind of dead there, so...
Sorry, what was the radius of effect?
It is 40-foot radius, and I'll just center it right on the circle of fireball.
Absolutely.
So it is bigger. The paladins will have to make checks to get out of it, but the fire is doused, so,
Yeah, so that radius
Win-win.
is twice the size radius of a fireball.
Yeah.
Even if with the amount that the alcohol had spurred and spread the flames, more than enough. You pretty much fill 2/3 of this bar with ice and slick the floor everywhere.
Again, like, they're not taking damage, they're just not
They're just going to fall on their armored asses.
But yeah, it's better than nothing.
But you douse the flames in one swift and calm and measured action.
Bravo.
That's what Sleet Storm's for, baby.
I did not realize you had a spell that could do that.
I mean, you guys got scrolls of it during the siege of Heraklion, but I believe you gave them all to me because I already know the spell, so yeah.
Well done. Okay, Isabella outside will keep moving. Shaft.
I head on out the door I'll go my 25 feet and then look and see, can I see Isabella from my vantage point?
Stepping about 10, 15 feet out of the door into the cobblestone road, you do not see Isabella anywhere.
Did I see which direction she went out the door when she turned?
Yeah, you'd think you saw that she headed south.
Okay, then I'm going to pursue her in that direction. So let me head 25 foot south. I'll sort of use my halfing nimbleness and sort of scurry through their legs and slide up underneath of them. And, so as the people are running out the door, they see this little shadow run by there. And they sort of, like a cat ran by them quickly, and they sort of jump out of the way.
Okay, excellent. Falter.
I'll continue with my plan, heading towards the room where I had stashed all of my items, and I'll open the door Has anything been molested or disturbed, or is it all where I left it?
It looks like how you left it, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So I will grab those things, and I guess I'll put them in the bag of holding back where they came from for now. And then I will use the remainder of my movement to dash back down as far as I can get, back down to the main floor aboard Denny.
Absolutely. With Denny's extra movement, your room's kind of being one of the first few right off the stairs. Actually, you can get to at least the landing, if not all the way down, and you now see from this position, like, there's just ice everywhere now. The flame's completely gone. Instead of that kind of suffocating heat and the still billows of smoke though up above the ceiling of the bar, but now almost like there's this like underlying chill that has settled into the atmosphere now of the Tickly.
My goodness, what is happening here? It's incredible.
The paladins that were kind of at the rear of the bar, which would include Sally and Frank, now many of them were kind of mid-stride as this ice gets basically placed right under their feet. Like, more than half of them are slipping, but like you say, like they're just losing their footing rather than anything. And of course, with the flames having died down, the rush to exit is no longer needed. But other paladins from the street, you do kind of hear them pushing their way into kind of through a bit of a crowd of other ongoers on the street, finally like investigating, seeing what is going on, kind of looky-loos, right? So more paladins are kind of pushing through to the front of the Tickly. I think we can probably drop out of initiative. I know Shaft is still giving chase though, so why don't we go to Shaft? Unless, well, okay, let's do one more round in the initiative. Shakara, you're now at the rear of the tavern with Hulsa, Dreg, and Mullen.
Yeah, I just want to run around to the front of the tavern.
Okay, that's gonna take you it would take you a couple rounds.
Yeah, I can only get a little more than halfway there.
And so I assume you're urging Hulsa and Dreg and Mullen are still, like, they're following you.
Yes.
As far as we know inside here, like, they could have Isabella outside fighting her right now, so I'm gonna dismiss concentration on Sleet Storm. So I don't know if the ice melts for flavor or so I'll dismiss Sleet Storm. It doesn't say anything about flooding and melting the ice, okay? Drowning the patrons.
First there's smoke damage, now there's water damage.
I will
that's
move
what happens to the
myself
fire.
and my hammer as far as I can, but I think my spiritual weapon is like 30 feet of movement type thing, so, I mean, it's going to be behind me this whole time, reminding me of the tower job, chasing the mob.
So you're going to dash then?
But I will dash, yeah, and get rid of the difficult terrain for all of them to, like, be able to clean up and leave and, I don't know, whatever.
And, as you're kind of running, you actually see Jelly kind of poking her head out from the back room that Shaft had ushered her away to, kind of as things were going down. And she's just kind of, like, bewildered, looking around, seeing all the broken alcohol bottles right now from the fire, and now the ice and the puddles all over the place. You hear her basically mumble, like, to herself, "I gotta get the hell out of this city." Shaft.
So I'm gonna take the shortest route down the road to try to catch up to Isabella. Moving, I'm gonna first go 25 feet. And then see if I can, from that vantage point, do I see her?
Why don't you give me a perception?
Or Alamar.
8.
Unfortunately, so down, you've come to like a left turn right in the road and to a straight stretch of road. And again, you see there's more paladins further down, like 50, 60 feet down, more commoners, but there's no sign of Isabella or Alamar.
Okay, so I'll do my dash then, since I just looked, and go the full 50 feet and see if I can see at that point.
Okay. The extra 25 feet, not going to change much. Scanning the faces of the people in the street, you don't recognize any of them. None of them belong to Isabella. None of them belong to Alamar.
Okay, as I'm running down, I pull my bow out. I sort of run over into the middle of the street. I sort of pull the arrow out, look around. realize that I might be causing some kind of concern to all the poor passersby, I sort of let loose, pull the arrow back in and look around, and then turn around and start walking back to the tavern. Frustrated.
Falzern.
Falzern would follow Shaft, the last where he saw Shaft go after Isabella, still on Denny so that he can maintain speed. And then so he would go out the front door. It looks like out the front door there's a row of other buildings or houses directly across, and you can either go left or right. If I look to my left, the road, does it just carry on straight, or does it turn as well?
Yeah, it carries on straight. Yeah. And actually, I mean, you recognize this this is kind of a main road. This is actually the road that you had basically walked here once you had arrived in Drukal, right? This road eventually kind of, yes, it continues straight for quite some time, but then it kind of snakes again to the right, which would lead to that eastern gate that you had entered into the city.
Would Falzern, from his vantage point, have also been able to see which direction Isabella went?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a good understanding of the heading that she took as she fled.
So Falzern would continue south, same direction Shaft went. And he's got about enough movement to make it to the bend before it goes left, and then that's all he can do on his turn.
And yeah, as you kind of round that corner, I assume you're. I mean, you haven't taken much elevation, right? You're kind of right at street level to get the most out of your movement, right?
Yeah, like just 5-10 feet off the ground sort of thing.
Okay, well, as you're zipping through the Tickley, like I said, it is crowded again. There are paladins everywhere. You kind of have to push and shove people. You have people that, reacting, jumping out of your way just to be able to avoid you. And yeah, you get down to the left left turn in the street, and you kind of see Shaft about 25, 30 feet ahead of you, bow in hand, and he's already on his way, like facing you, and looks like he's on his way back to the Tickley.
Where's Isabella, Shaft? Did you see her?
I point that way. Go high. See if you can find her.
Okay.
And we can fall out of initiative, so we can do whatever you want. So, Falzern, do you want to take off into the air and search for her?
Sure. Yeah. Maybe I'll go sort of up on a 45 degree or so, gain some elevation and see if I can see farther down the street and see if I can see anyone that looks like her.
You could try to pick me up.
Yeah, I would if Shaft's willing. Shaft, there's
going to be a dex save. I know that.
There's room
Acrobatics.
for two on here, Shaft, if you want.
Wink, wink.
I think if he flies by me, I'm going to try to do one of those deals where you like jump on the horse by sort of grabbing onto the saddle and flinging yourself
What
up.
could go wrong?
Okay. All right, give me an acrobatics.
Acrobatics. All right.
If you fail, you
Here we
die.
go. Okay. I got a +8. What could possibly? I mean, death. Well, that's all right. 14. What did I need? You're dead.
Yeah, you needed a 35. I'm sorry, Chef. No, 14.
Can I use stealth?
I'm gonna pass another trace onto this broom. You're able to grab like a hold of Falsey's robes and like swing yourself around onto Denny, and Denny kind of actually helps you out a little bit. Again, Denny lowers even more, and you were able to hop onto the broom as Falzern gains elevation. Okay, so Shakara and Mia, you're both kind of heading to the front of the Tickley, right? So you two kind of meet up again with Hulsa, and just remember, every time I say somewhere, Shakara is there. Hulsa, Dragon, Mullen are also there, unless otherwise stipulated.
Okay, all right. It's part of the contract.
There's
The
a contract,
HDM.
yeah.
Yeah, well, like, I was headed to the front because I didn't know if they were, like, in the street fighting, needing help. Now I'm, like, a little bit... Like, Tamia's look at these people who got injured by the fireball. Like, she knows they're all gone, there's no hope type thing.
Yeah, and as you two meet, basically at the entrance of Tickley, you do see Shaft and Falzern taking off into the air higher to gain elevation on Denny.
They must have seen where she went.
All right, follow the broom?
I guess.
Greg, can you get us there faster?
I don't understand any of what just happened.
Why would Isabella do that?
Why would she fireball the middle of the room? If she truly was trying to kill me, why did she not aim for me?
I don't know. This all seems like one big diversion.
Should we wait here?
I don't know. I feel like there's nothing I can do here.
I am going to cast Death Ward.
Okay. A coven ability.
Coven ability that the first time I would drop to 0, I go to 1 hit point instead. And if something would try to insta-kill me with a spell, it would be negated. And last for 8 hours.
Dang.
This, I believe, is the 5th time you've used a coven ability.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that sounds ominous.
What? Oh, the scales? The things? The hair?
After I cast the spell, I fall to my knees. My scales rain down to the ground like bloodied snow around me, revealing smooth, purpley blue skin. Copper-colored hair grows from my head as vines sprout from my temples, weaving together around the back of my head to form a thorny wreath, reminiscent of my brand and oath, but twisted and warped. Growling in pain, lines burn into my cheeks, scrawling curving sigils that resemble a dragon curled upon itself. The dragon ring I've been wearing since it was gifted to me by Dendar melts into my finger, sigil lines forming from it and spread across both my hands, marking me even more as a servant of Dendar. Just as my physical changes seem to be stopping, my armor flares with dark flames, surrounding me completely as all light near me dims to almost nothing. Then the flames go out. The light comes back. I stand up and I roar, shooting sputtering flames from my mouth, which cut short. The viney wreath on my head hardens and now looks like horns, twisting together, dangerous to touch. I open my eyes. They are pale blue, almost glowing.
Dreg and Hulsa, I mean, as you're falling to their knees, like they take a step towards you, and then the flames kind of makes them, step back, just in awe and bewilderment. I mean, Hulsa, like her mouth, slack-jawed, like mouth agape. Once you kind of get to your feet, both of them kind of rush over to you to make sure that you're okay.
I am all right. I feel different.
You look different, Shakara. What's going on? Wait, that's you, right? Shakara? Hello?
Yes, it is still me.
Okay, yeah, you sound the same. You look totally different, dude. Look at your hair.
Hair?
Yeah, you have hair. You have
Reach
copper
up
hair.
and touch my hair. And I'll pull out a dagger and I'll try and cut it off.
No.
It immediately grows back.
Oh.
What is this? And I'll try and cut off some more, and it immediately grows back.
Listen. I don't think you're a dragon anymore. Look at your skin.
My scales.
Yeah.
What has happened?
As you're kind of hacking at your hair, Hulsa, as Mia is saying, wait, stop. Hulsa's trying to steady your hand as well, right? And she kind of puts a hand over yours that's grasping your dagger, and just kind of slowly lowers your dagger away from your hair as she picks up some of the viney curls in her own hand, right? And just kind of caresses the newfound smoothness of your cheek, and she kind of starts to like tear up, and she smiles at you.
I will put my hand on her face, mimicking what she is doing. I am unsure what just happened, but I am glad you are here. And I'll reach out to Drag. And you as well.
And he'll take your hand. You look beautiful.
And I'll start to cry.
Shaft and Falzarin. Falzarin, you get to, how high were you wanting to go?
Just above the rooftops.
As you're taking off and you're basically cresting the peak of the nearest building. Falzarin, what is happening?
Well, we've run into a bit of a hiccup, Alamar. It's Isabella. She just let loose a fireball inside the inn and killed a bunch of innocent bystanders. Near killed myself as well.
Not that, you imbecile! What are you doing to my cane?
I'm not doing anything to your cane, Alamar.
It hurts, Falzarin.
I don't know. Can I take a look at the cane and see if it looks any different?
Yeah, you want to pull it out of your bag. And as far as you can tell, there isn't any physical changes to the cane itself.
Okay. Alamar, the cane looks the same as it ever has. What's going on? What do you feel?
Have you stopped in the air?
Yeah, I think I would urge Denny to come to a bit of a halt so I can balance while I'm doing this.
I don't understand what's happening. It feels as if I'm being torn apart.
Perhaps, could this have something to do with the Revenant occupying your body?
Do you see my body?
So I'll look down and take a closer look around, now scanning for Salardo instead of Isabella. Do I see anyone that resembles him?
You can give me a perception.
Can I also do that since I hear this also?
Yes, absolutely.
16 for Shaft.
14 for Falzarin.
Neither of you see Alamar or Salardo, Sardo in Alamar's body. But again, there's a number of people from the crowds that were kind of on their way to the Tickley below you, right? Probably the nearest crowd now, again, drawing more attention to you rather than kind of what's happening at the Tickley, about 50 feet away, like on the ground, kind of up and past the bend in the road and up onto this straightaway. But other than that, no, you don't see Alamar anywhere.
Do we see Isabella?
No, you do not see Isabella.
From what I can see up where we are, Alamar, I don't see your body anywhere. But that's not to say, he could be inside one of these buildings. I don't know.
When we get close to your body, do you get sucked out into it?
Yeah, you never did quite explain how this is supposed to work, Alamar.
If the vessel is empty, I should have no problem getting back into my body.
So, what you mean is, if I successfully cast this spell, trap his soul.
Yes, once you vacate his soul from my body, I should have no problem getting back into it. If it hurts like this, I've never been in a cane before, Falzarin.
Well, I don't know what's happening. This is new territory for me. I've not read of any such thing in any of the books I've studied, Alamar. I can only assume he's doing something or he's getting near. I don't know.
Well, then he must be close. Find my body.
Well, perhaps. We were sort of preoccupied with Isabella, but she seems to have escaped for the time being. Shaft, should we go back and meet up with the others?
So I've pulled my bow out again while I'm riding on the back, and I'm sort of scanning around the area. I'm like, well, let's find her. Let's kill her if we can.
You want to keep chase and see if we can spot her?
Yeah, fly around a little bit. Maybe we'll spot her.
Okay. So I will urge Denny to more or less just follow this road unless it forks or veers off into another road anywhere. But yeah, we'll stay up at the elevation that we're at and just carry on. Continue to scan the crowd below us.
We'll use Alamar's scream as a ping.
Echolocation.
Do either of you have locate creature?
I do have primeval awareness that I could do to find undead, but that just lets me know it's within 1 mile. It's not a favored foe of mine.
I have locate creature prepared, but it depends on who it is.
I have no spell that would be of any use here.
Okay.
As you fly down the street, away from the Tickly, keeping an eye out on it for either Izzy or Sardos. No sign of either one of them. Basically, your plan is to, like, search until you find them, or...
I think we just fly around for a few minutes, right?
Yeah, I won't stray. I don't want to travel, like, 10 kilometers away from the Tickly or anything, but...
We measure in miles in D&D.
That's
she could have went into a building or something like that.
Yeah.
We're not going to see that from up there, so...
But scanning the people in the street, as you're flying about 100 or so feet, Alamar speaks up again. There's kind of a sincere conversation, almost like there was like he's like moaning, like,
Wait, Falzarin, do that again. It feels better. What are you doing?
We're just flying. We're covering distance looking for Isabella.
You must be moving away from my body.
Turn around.
He's like a metal detector.
Divining rod.
Wait,
Are you sure, Shaft?
Give me a second to recover here.
Oh, shut up. Turn around and go and drop down.
All men need a few minutes recovery.
For my age, it's a short refractory time.
We're looking for Isabella, though, Shaft. I mean, do you think they're in the same place?
Yeah, Alamar, tell us how much it hurts. Down that way.
The other thing, Shaft, is if we're gonna run into...
I grab him by the back. I put my bow and my arrow in one hand. I grab him. I go, God help me! I'll throw you off this damn broom.
All right. So I urged Denny back towards the direction we were going. But Shaft, we don't want to run into them by ourselves. We need all the help we can get.
We just gotta find out where he, whatever is, so we can get them back here with us.
Okay. We'll keep our distance. So I'll go a bit lower and back to the direction that we had just come from, and listen for Alamar's groaning and moaning.
like back to the Tickly.
Well, wherever we were when Alamar was complaining.
Oh, okay. You're gonna continue on the heading that you were traveling. Okay, doing like kind of loose circles around the area.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Sort of
Up
like
and down all the
Alamar's
streets.
going, ah!
Right.
And then we go back to the...
hot, cold.
Exactly. It's like beep, 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 beep.
Well, you fly about another 100 feet, and Alamar doesn't give any indication of being in any type of pain. You kind of double back, still nothing. You do a few loops, and it seems that in the area you've covered, Alamar hasn't detected any additional pulling on his cane, as he described it.
I think we lost her.
Okay. Well, what do you say? We turn back and meet the others, see what's happening.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to do any good up here now. You're just drawing attention to us.
All right, so I urge Denny to sort of turn around and head back. But I'm still gonna be looking down and keeping an eye as we're going, just in case they happen to venture out into the street, if they were hiding in a house or something, or one of the shops along the road.
Okay, why don't you each give me one last perception here before we get back to the Tickly.
12 for Felzern.
Also a 12
Roll
for Shaft.
better. No.
Okay, so still, as you come back to that original straightaway that basically the Tickly faces right on that straightaway road, no sign of Isabella or Alamar. But you do see Dreg, Hulsa, Mullen, Mia, and a person, a being you've never seen before.
Shaft, do you see that? Who is that?
I have no idea.
She's beautiful.
Now you've got the two girls with the glowing eyes going on in this group.
Okay, so we will sort of slow our speed a little bit and start to descend back towards the group.
Now, for a question, she has her armor on and everything else.
Yeah,
that
very
would
clear.
Identify her.
She's
as
got
her.
the sword, Samuel's sword on her hip, right?
Right. I'm gonna go. That's Shakara. All her scales fell off.
Oh, yes. My goodness, she looks very different. Shaft, I wonder, I think this may be a delicate subject. We should choose our words carefully here. I don't know how she's going to react.
Just don't mention anything.
Well, that might be a bit far-fetched. But yeah, let's just...
I'll just let you do all the talking here.
Okay. All right, so we will come down and touch down in front of them. Shakara, you've changed. What happened?
I am not entirely sure. I cast another of the Coven spells. And this happened.
Oh, I see. So I will dismount Denny and sort of walk up a bit closer, sort of looking her up and down and sort of left to right, kind of inspecting.
Falzarin, it's a little rude to stare.
Not in like a disrespectful way, just sort of a curious.
Oh, Mia's gonna be protective. You're like checking her out very thoroughly here.
I'll reach out with both my hands, sort of asking for her hands. May I, Shakara?
I will put my hands out into your hands.
And I sort of look at the backs of her hands and turn them over, look at the palms. So the sigil of Dendar that was a ring is now sort of seared into your hands, is that right?
Yeah, it like tattoos. It looks like tattoos going on all of my fingers. You know, like the henna tattoos?
Yep.
On all of my fingers and up my hands and up my arms. And on my cheeks.
This is very intriguing, Shakara. I don't know what to make of it.
Neither do I, yet. I feel like me, yet different.
I hop off the broom, sort of wander up to Shakara. I sort of look at her. Well, I couldn't catch her. I don't know where she went.
Yeah, we totally lost track of her, but something seems to be happening with Alamar in this cane. I think there's some sort of a proximity effect. I don't know if we were getting close to Alamar's body, but Alamar was yelling out in pain and something's going on.
I don't think that was Isabella.
I was just going to ask, do you think that was truly Isabella?
Well, do you think Isabella wants to take you out of the Coven? Because she certainly didn't seem like she was doing something nice for you there.
Why was I not targeted by the fireball then?
Yes, that seems very unusual and suspicious.
Falzarin, you have Alamar's spellbook. Does he have fireball?
Well, that's a good question. That doesn't quite add up because, to my knowledge, it's not a spell that Alamar had spent time to learn.
Alamar, do you know how to cast fireball?
I can cast many spells.
We've never seen Isabella use that spell.
I have no idea what kind of spells these people know, but...
Well, I mean, fireball. We see Falzarin do it all the time. It's pretty, like, self-explanatory.
It's certainly a spell that is not uncommon for wizards who have spent some time studying to be able to cast, but I don't know.
I'll look at Shakara and I'll say, she just killed a lot of people in there, and look what's happening to you. You sure you want to align yourself with Isabella anymore?
I have never truly been aligned with Isabella, as I have repeatedly told you.
I look over at Falzarin. Yeah, I should let you do the talking. And I sort of walk
Yeah.
back behind
Shaft,
him.
when you followed Igna, who is he talking to? Was it Salardos or was it Isabella? What did you see?
It was Sardos. It looked like Alamar.
Okay. Alamar, can you change yourself to look like Isabella or other people? Is that something easy for you to do? Like, could Sardo be changing form?
I could, yes. I've forgotten more spells than Falzarin will learn in his lifetime.
Alamar, that is not helpful right now.
What we're saying, though, is it's not impossible. It's not impossible that Sardo is in Alamar's body pretending to be other things.
Should we go to the warehouse where you saw them?
I can take you there if you want me to. What do you expect to find?
If we want to, I can locate creatures. I just need to be sure it's the right creature, I guess. So, like, who you want me to concentrate on, if you want me to do this.
Does Salardo count as a creature?
You know, let me consult my
Let me read the spell.
wizard books.
Let me describe a name or a creature that's familiar to you. You sense the direction of the creature's location, as long as the creature's within 1,000 feet of you. If the creature's moving, you know which direction it's moving. If they are under the effects of polymorph spell, the spell does not locate the creature. So, like, let's say I hunt a revenant, because it says the nearest creature of a specific kind. So if I hunt for a revenant, then the nearest revenant would appear to me, type thing. But we are familiar with Sardo.
It's definitely worth a try.
I think it's worth it, personally. What level spell is it?
4th level.
It is worth a try.
I think it might be very helpful, Mia.
It'll only last for an hour, so like we said, we know the direction it's moving. Hopefully we could catch up to it.
Leland, the direction that Isabella went, is that toward where the warehouse was that I was?
No, actually, it's towards magic. So basically the opposite direction.
Alright, here goes nothing, guys. And I will cast Locate Creature. And I'll be thinking about Sardo and his soul. I will be thinking about Alamar's body, and I will also target Revenant. Is that all possible?
So you're gonna burn 3 4th level spells.
Wait a second.
Then, are you?
That's what you said.
Okay, well, what's the chances of there being another Revenant? Okay, hold on.
Slim to nil,
I
I would say.
Slim to nil?
You can absolutely choose Revenant. I just based the text of the spell. I'm sure that's fine. So yeah, basically, I mean, you have a few different options, I suppose.
What makes the most sense?
Well, what doesn't make the most sense? Because you could try to
His
locate
soul or
creature
Alamar's
for
body.
Alamar's body. Exactly. You could really try to do either. I would probably say that Sardo's soul itself wouldn't be considered a creature. I think that would maybe be something different.
So Alamar's body maybe makes
you
more
could
sense.
do Alamar's
just in
body.
case there's another Revenant lurking around your call.
You never know. It is true call.
So I will start casting 1 4th level divination spell to locate creature, and I will be locating Alamar's body. Now, are we assuming, Shakara, as you move and we're looking, that your posse is coming with you?
I assume.
So okay, so if you have to go to, if you find that, then you want them in the fight.
I mean, Dreg's handy. Also is pretty capable herself.
You cast locate creature, and before you start moving, you don't detect Alamar's body within 1,000 feet of you.
She went that way, which is the opposite way of the warehouse. And I point the other direction.
Okay, well, if it's moving, I get an idea of which direction. So is it moving?
No, I'm telling you, within 1,000 feet, you don't detect Alamar's body.
I'm pointing the direction we just followed her and said, that's the direction she went. Right? And I'm responding back to Shakara going, and the warehouse is the opposite direction. So we can follow where she went.
Yes, let us go that way.
I could,
Just fly me around.
Mia, how do you feel about getting on Denny with me? We could cover more ground from the air.
Yeah, I have no problem. We've done this before. Let's go.
Okay, so I will hop on Denny and make space for Mia.
So the spell lasts up to an hour. How long would you like to travel? Basically, yeah. What's the kind of breakdown of the time, which is going to be important? So you want to head towards magic, which is the direction that Shavla saw Isabella running. For how many minutes would you like to fly there? Or fly until you feel something? Or what exactly
I think the fly until you feel something would be, like, the smartest way, I think. Because, like, it says as long as I'm within 15 feet, I'm gonna feel the direction that's moving. again, like in an hour, we start with that direction and cover the city, I guess, as much as we could. Like, I would go to the edge of the city and then, I don't know, fly. I don't know, let's go that direction. Do I feel anything?
Okay, on Denny, to get to basically the eastern edge of the city would take you about 3/4 of that hour. Again, Drukal's a large city.
Yeah. So I would say we would go, like, spend no more than 20 minutes flying in any given direction, or else we're not going to be able to cover that much.
And
right?
then do like a 20-minute circle sort of around the tavern type thing?
I think so. Maybe fly for 20 minutes in the direction we thought that
and then like do a circle.
Isabella or whomever that was went, and then if we don't get any bites, circle back around, sort of thing.
Just imagine, think of it as it's a
like a 20-minute radius around.
Exactly, a 1,000-foot circle that you're trying to move around the city and not overlap as much as the territory that you've already overlapped, right, and waste time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, so towards Magic, that 20-minute flight time basically gets you like 2 magic, right? And you, Mia, throughout that 20 minutes, you don't detect Alamar anywhere.
Nothing so far, Falzarin. Hang a left. Let's just keep it in a circle.
So we'll do a bit of a radius sort of back, I guess, because there's no sense in going the exact same path that we just traveled. It's sort of a waste. So I guess north. What would be? I'm trying to remember. Drukal.
So north, the direction Hannah's district would be north, and just basically further and deeper into Detmer's portion would be south.
Maybe Mia, do you think? Why don't we go south? Detmer's just been pushed out of the city. There's a bit of a power vacuum there. I wouldn't be surprised if that's somewhere that either Isabella or...
Okay, stop talking. Let's go. Wasting time.
Okay, so we'll veer to the right and head south.
Okay, so 59 minutes after that conversation of 60 have passed. Okay, so sweeping...
I couldn't help myself. I'm just like, we gotta hurry.
Okay, so sweeping south and doubling back a little bit, but obviously trying to make as much benefit of that 1,000-foot radius as possible. And basically you've come down and probably after like another 20 minutes, maybe kind of on a diagonal, you've put yourself a few 100 feet below the Tickley, right? And still no sign of Alamar. Nothing pinging on your spell.
You know, Alamar all of a sudden felt much better, Mia.
Yeah? Where? When?
Well, Shaft and I were flying, and Alamar was all of a sudden developing this pain, presumably as we were getting closer and closer to his body.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he felt much better. It didn't seem to be a very gradual thing. It was more abrupt and sudden. I wonder...
He's gone.
Yeah. Could he have gone through a portal or used...
Could you not have told this to me before I burned a 4th level spell slot?
Well, I don't... This is all new to me, Mia. I don't know how this works, but it's possible that he used magic to teleport or used Dimension Door or some sort of thing to move himself great distance away.
If this Sardo, the magician, has access to all of the power I once wielded, then you have no hope of getting my body back.
You were so confident we could do it before, Alamar.
Well,
what changed?
The other thing, Alamar, is that this is a revenant who's bent on destroying myself and Shaft, so I don't know, unless we're dealing with a far more intelligent creature than I am suspecting. I would assume he's going to be after us.
Yes, that he should have something akin to an insatiable hunger for the revenge he seeks. Miss Brightwood.
Yes.
I would not suspect that this revenant could have access to all of my power, but I too am out of my element. but we have no idea what type of distance my body affects me in. We could simply have flown outside of it.
Yeah, Falzarin, we need to land. I think we can run out the clock on my spell, but I don't know. It sounds like if he has this insatiable hunger, he'll be back.
That's my thinking as well. Let's meet up with the others and regroup. Come up with a plan.
Shaft and Shakara, what are you doing for an hour?
So as we're standing there next to each other, I pull my dagger out and start cleaning out under my nails, sort of looking around, not speaking to her for a little bit. And then I'll sort of quietly go, "So you feel any different?"
Yes. Yes, I do.
Like powerful or just different?
Different kind of power.
Now, does she still have a tail and everything, or is it's a dragon shape, or is that gone?
No, so yeah, any resemblance to a Dragonborn completely transformed. She looks more human than anything other than the kind of wreath-like horns that Emily described, right, in the color of her skin, and the kind of the henna Dendar tattoos. Yeah, she looks more akin to a human. Actually, probably similar to a tiefling. Actually, I would say.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it? Now, I've seen tieflings before, so do I feel like she's transitioned from a dragonborn into a tiefling, or is it a different feel than that?
I think you would know that she's not a tiefling. She is something different.
Okay. So, what else? What else is going to happen here? She didn't clue you in on any of these changes as you use these spells?
Contrary to what you seem to believe, Isabella and I do not talk. I have not seen her since you have seen her.
That's why I'm just curious. If you know anything, what's happening to you? It seems like, we saw my brother transform also, and that didn't turn out well.
I am still me, on the inside. I still have my thoughts, my feelings. I have no desire to kill you at the moment.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah, that's changed.
So, I'll just sort of walk over, sort of lean against the wall, look over at Dreg, and then I'm going to go, "Hey, Dreg, you're a smart guy." And I sort of point over at Shakara and go, "Any ideas?"
I have been pondering on that. Most assuredly, the coven and your connection to it, Shakara, clearly, as you say, has had an influence on you, but I've never quite seen a creature quite like you.
I'll go look at myself in the window at my reflection. I have not seen anyone like me either. My power feels different. And I'll try and do a divine sense. I sense nothing.
But you can't do what you used to do?
No. It is gone. I'll try and breathe flames.
It's like a cat hacking up a hairball.
My fire is gone.
What sense do you feel? Do you feel like there is some kind of magical ability within you, some arcane power?
Yes, I do still feel. I feel power. I feel I can do things. And I will suddenly change, and I will start to look like somebody I see passing by, and I'll just mimic what the person I see walking by for a second. Disguise self.
I see this happening, I sort of look over at Dreg and I go, I know of another creature that can do such things.
What?
I already killed one of you. And I sort of reach down for my short sword.
You think I am a doppelganger?
Let me see your wrist.
Do I still have my... Oh, you're well looking for the...
Yeah, I'm looking
Cut.
for it.
That would still be there.
I don't think that it would.
Because it would have been in the scales.
You're like a newborn. Like you got like any scars that like Shakara the Dragonborn had from accomplishing the great deeds and growing up, completely gone. And like your skin is like supple, brand new. Like it's not, you got to break it in here. So I don't think Shaft would see that mark. Now, is your disguise self still up?
I would drop it. I left it up for a minute and then drop it.
Okay. So when she turns back, I have my hand on my sword handle. And let me see your wrist.
I will hold my wrist out and all of my brands are gone. And I'll look at my other arm and those are gone too. And the brands that were on my palm are gone.
And I'll pull my sword out and I'll go, what am I looking for?
My brands, the mark that we all made to show that we were not the doppelganger is gone.
I slide my sword back into the sheath. Yeah, this is very strange. How did you change into, and I point down at the guy she turned into, or the person she turned in. How did you change into that guy?
I just felt that I could.
What else can you do? I'm trying to surmise what she is, right? I'm trying to get an idea. I mean, I'm assuming that you now know the other things that you can do. If not, then I'm helping you explore what that is.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's more of there obviously innately Shakara knows what she can do, but whether or not she's fully conscious of it just yet, I think this is exactly, you have a point. Like, this is helping Shakara figure that out for, discover what she can do now.
What else can you do?
I will lay my hand on you.
I'll back up when you start walking towards me. But I'll let you do it.
Yes, so I start to put my hand on you and you back up a little bit and I stop. And then I'll lay my hand on you again.
This is where we roll the montage and the romantic music plays and he's like, show me, and she's like, I will, and she touches him and then
wow, you watch a lot of musicals.
They look at each other in the eye. There's eye contact and a smile.
This is what I can do now. So
that's more romantic than we've ever been. And it was not even real.
I just made it up. Man.
You have to make a wisdom save.
All right.
I think this is bad. No.
Oh, shit. 3.
Oh, no.
You're now cursed.
All right. How do I feel this?
Why the frick are you going to waste my greater restoration now? This is
No, because it won't last.
Okay.
It's a concentration up to a minute. So it'll go away as soon as I stop concentrating on it. I think, so there's different effects I can cause, but I would say just you have a disadvantage on attack rolls, so your sword will feel heavier or something. Like you're not as nimble. Swing your sword.
Swing my sword?
Yes, try and hit me.
Oh, I do like this. And I pull it out, and I swing it at her.
All right, make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Well, I had a 28 and a 29, so I'll take the 28.
Well, okay, so you still hit, and you can roll your damage for Shakara to take, because it is a hit. But even so, as you're swinging it, there's a bit of a clumsiness. So it definitely, there was clearly something that was affecting your swing, the way you're maneuvering your sword. all of which you were able to correct in this instance, but it's still unusual.
Okay, so I slashed you across, just straight across, 13 points of damage. And then I sort of step back surprised, like, were you supposed to block that?
No, it was just something to make it harder for you to hit me.
Oh, well, you better work on that one. And I slide my sword back in and go, I guess we'll figure this out together. I'm not trying to kill you.
I am not trying to kill you.
Well, then we agree. And if this ends up being Isabella that we're hunting down, we can kill her, right?
Of course.
I look back at Drag and I sort of give him a thumbs up and I go, I think we're all on the same page.
Igna said Isabella sent him to kill me.
Well, there you go. And I think at this point, and I don't think we're going to go anywhere, right?
I think we're just waiting for them to come back.
Well, kind of after this interchange happens, Hulsa bends down and picks up one of the chopped off pieces of hair that Shakara had carved off herself, and she kind of brings it over to Shakara, like as if to show her, and it's changed, this piece of hair.
Changed how?
Well, it's kind of it's no longer like a strand of your hair, even though as viney as they are, right? It's more of kind of like a little token. It looks pretty similar to a scabulet that Wizard World once had. And Hulsa just kind of holds it out to Shakara to take.
I will take it from her, and I'll look at it, and I will know what it is, and I will hand it back to her. You hold on to this for now. It may be useful for a little while.
She'll nod and kind of close her fist over it.
I think while they're having their discussion, I'm going to go back into the tavern to see if Jelly's okay and sort of just assess the damage, I guess to say. Not really helping anybody, just making sure Jelly's all right.
Yeah, okay. You see that Jelly has a mop. She's mopping up the melted ice from the sleet storm, and the paladins and like Sally and Frank. Sally's kind of more like barking orders to the paladins, but they've started, like, they've removed the bodies, right, and they're kind of setting things and basically trying to clear out any of the fire debris and the fire damage kind of stuff, right?
I'll pick up if there's bottles like laying on the bar over on their side. I'll sort of pick them up and pour a little into the shot glass and act like I'm cleaning up and take a shot and help myself as I'm trying to help out a little bit.
Did they remove Igna's body too?
Well, you paid them to do so.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry about the mess. Hey, in 2 or 3 minutes, it's going to get far worse.
Well, shortly after you've entered in and kind of surveyed what's going on, Falzer and Mia do get back to the Tickly.
And that's our show. Be sure to follow us on social media, Incorrigible Par on Twitter, Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram. You can visit incorrigibleparty.com for additional world and NPC information and to get all your Incorrigible Party merchandise. Merchandising. That's where the real money is made. Get a flamethrower. The kids love that one. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. For your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. That's me. All ambient sounds and music during the episode are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com, and our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can contact him for your own musical inquiries via email at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!